What is up, you guys? Uh, Alchemist Ganjier here. I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday, and um, hope you guys are also ready for a sesh here. Um, yeah, for today's episode of Enki's Canonical, if any of you guys saw the announcement earlier today that we would be doing an interview with Arluss Webb of White Lightning Seeds, unfortunately, he reached out to me earlier this evening. He is dealing with a migraine at the moment, and if any of you guys have ever experienced a migraine, like you know exactly what he's going through and why we had to postpone. But no fear, no fear at all, guys. We have already set a time for tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. That's Tuesday at 8 p.m. We'll be going live to do our interview and push along with it. And hopefully everything is A-OK for that. But, in the meantime, the show must go on. And I had debated with myself whether or not we were going to, just do nothing. And I was like, you know what? We still got a little bit of stuff to talk about. So let's have us a little sesh, eh? And a great way, I guess, to start off our sesh is to check out my new Andy Dillon piece from Transcendent Glass. Yeah, super excited, especially in light of my Cannabox debacle, which I'll go into momentarily, guys. But I finally got myself a new spoon pipe. Look at this beauty here, guys. Look at that work, oh my gosh. And then also look at that carb. The carb on here is, I have confirmed the largest hole on the entire piece, because that here is almost the same size. This is just a tiny bit smaller, and the actual bowl itself, which you can see I've already gotten some a resin action in there. I have a glass screen in there, but it the hole in there is nice, and it's pretty small. But also, if you notice, let's see, what's an easy way to look there. If you look through there, the bowl is very deep. It's very, very deep. Okay. And we will be rocking today some Bosscotti from a boy Dewey of Dewey's Cannabis. So we'll definitely be breaking into that in a second. But also, yes, this spoon pipe. I've been apprehensive about getting a spoon pipe over some time now, because I'm very methodical about cleaning my pieces. Now, I used to have spoon pipes back when I was like everyone else, just not really cleaning the piece, just letting it get all seasoned up and stuff, and rezzed out, and then eventually it can't pull through anything anymore, and then you start running a paper clip through it, and then just a pound of resin just comes out of such a small piece. That was me at one point. But then once I started cleaning pieces more, and having bubblers and bongs more steadily, out into the new age of actually being able to keep pieces without the fear that you might have to just throw it out the window at some point, or get rid of it because of all the weird legality stuff. So I kind of pictured myself never really owning a spoon pipe in any meaningful manner again, because in my head it was yeah, it's kind of lowbrow, or it was from a time when when you didn't really have better options. But I have since began to amend that opinion, if you will. And it all really started for me when I began my journey learning more about wood pipes. And how with wood pipes, if you guys have ever been tobacco people, or tobacco folks or whatnot, or heard about it and whatnot, or had family that did it, you'll learn that when it comes to smoking tobacco out of pipes, aged pipes or seasoned pipes are considered to be very, very valuable. I mean, you have wood pipes out there, depending on the materials and the craftsmanship that go into it, they could be worth $200 to $300 new. And then when they've been properly seasoned, i.e. used a whole bunch by someone who knows what they're doing, it could be worth $500, $600. Just because of the fact that process that it goes through that adds a very unique flavor and a deeper flavor to the smoke. And I mostly was wanting to learn more about this whole process because I was trying to like maximize how I pack my bowls. I was exploring like snaps versus cornering versus like getting a whole bowl started and then like trying to control the burn like you would a joint all the way through it to try and like get the maximum experience. Because sometimes you just want to pack a fat bowl and hit on it for a little while, and. To that extent, I was like, well, pipe smokers, they do that constantly, like, and that's one of those things. So it's like, there has to be some crossover, right? There's got to be. And I found that there was a lot of decent crossover. One of the biggest parts is like how you pack a bowl, and how the grind is on it can have a notable impact on like how you go about it, and even like how you add like the material to the bowl and then like pack it in like what stages. And we'll go over some of that stuff that I've learned. But there's one of the big divides that I've come across with like beautiful like glass pipes and like the wood pipes is that a big part of the seasoning process with wood pipes is that you're actually getting the oils from the tobacco to seep into the wood. And in that process, the wood itself, almost like a cast iron skillet, kind of has a nice exchange, like as air or smoke like passes through like that pipe, in order to give it that more robust flavor. And that's where things can get a little dicey with cannabis, because as you use like a piece with cannabis, like one glass, while it is porous to an extent, it's really like it's less porous than a lot of things. In fact, that's one of the reasons why people like it so much, because it cleans easily, because it's not so porous like, let's like say like a wood like piece or a silicone piece. Because like anyone who's ever used a silicone bowl or piece knows that you use that thing one time and it's pretty much going to smell like burnt weed forever. Like forever and ever and ever. And not always in the best way, but that's like also because with like, like silicone, it's like it's trapping so much stuff in there. It's like it's almost like it's not really discriminating. And that's another interesting point with the wood. I'm not sure how much like the wood is discriminating more, but I do know though that when like I had an opportunity to try a wood pipe a few weeks ago from a friend of mine, Rick. He's one of the members with Mount Zion, and it's funny because within a few weeks of me like really digging deep into this, he shows up and he's got this wood pipe, and it was an already seasoned pipe, I believe, that he did smoke some tobacco in at the beginning. But if I recall correctly, I could be mistaken, he more or less stopped smoking tobacco and pretty much just kept it weed. And now one thing for certain is that he has been using it to smoke weed. Packed bowl of a cultivar I was fairly familiar with, so I already had an idea of what to expect. And I smoked out of this pipe, guys, and it was absolutely amazing. Like the deep ochres of the flavor, the robustness, like it was really quite nice, and in no way comparable to like trying to do a spliff, trying to roll like a blunt, or something like that, where you're getting like tobacco like through the wrap or whatever. It added like a more of a almost like a hashy, chocolatey, like a really lovely flavor to it that I found pleasant. In fact, because of that, I'm like, okay, I want to get a wood pipe for sure. It's one of those things I want to do proper, because like I could get a little like cheapy corncob pipe and use that up, but like I feel like if I'm going to like go down the road of trying to season a pipe, I would like to get a nice proper pipe, like save up for it, be spending almost as much as you would on a nice glass piece. But still, in the meantime, though, I started thinking about all the other factors that go into what makes a pipe kind of taste nasty after a while as it starts to res up. I was like, because you have hash pipes, for example, chillum. If you are unfamiliar with what chillum looks like, there are the chillums that we know in the United States that look kind of like this piece here, It's got like the little like bowl with a slight little pinch, and it's basically like it's just a large pinch hitter. And if you were to go out of the country or talk to serious hash heads, talking about chillum, you're going to be speaking two different languages, kind of, because chillum, proper chillum for like consuming hash and whatnot, and these chillums that I'm speaking of are never really cleaned in any type of conventional sense. But it's this really long pipe that's about this long. If you go on my IG, there's like a black one with blue symbols all over it. That a friend of mine has. That's a perfect example of an Italian style chillum. And this is a much larger pipe that's thick, like this thick through, and it has a stone, kind of like an isosceles triangle. So like, really long with a skinny point and like a kind of like narrow base, that kind of drops into it. And then you just put your hash in. You put your little flour in. Then you put mostly hash in, because this is mostly for hash. Like the flour ratio is going to be very different than if you were smoking a traditional bowl. But in that, after you go through your whole process of smoking all the hash, right, you knock out that stone that you dropped in, and then after you knock that stone, you clean it all off, and you take this little like really thin, like almost like terry cloth rag. Usually hashishins will like use that same cloth on the end when they're doing the chillum, to make sure that that any of the resin that drips through doesn't get into their mouth or whatever. But after they're done, they'll take the stone out and they'll wipe everything down with the cloth, and then they'll run that cloth through it, right, to get out the extra oils. But they're not trying to remove all the oils from it. They're just getting all the crud out. So like for a piece like this, it would be the equivalent of like, if you notice on the bottom here, right, there's a little bit of flour material. And that's because I started this process before I put the screen into it. And I had some and so just like a little pull through. So I've been actively thinking on like whether or not I want to like go in there with a little tool and try to pull that plant material that came out in it, because that's going to contribute to like a possible, like, maybe it might contribute to a possible yucking of the flavor. But why even go through all this stuff in the first place, right? I mean, it's a piece, right? If I'm all about cleaning it, then like just clean it, bro. Like, quit talking about it. And, like, the reason is because this piece, and one of the reasons that it got me so much is it's hard to notice right now, but there is silver fluming inside this piece all throughout it. And this silver fluming, it gives it a very subtle blue tint, like a ghostly blue tint to it. And as this piece accumulates resin, it will begin changing colors. It is a color changing piece. And I felt like I would be giving it a humongous disservice if I just kept constantly cleaning this piece, because I would never really get to see the color change on it. So I am going through this process of experimentally trying to like season this piece to allow it to go through its color changes while still trying to maintain as high a quality smoke in it as possible. Now, the way I'm going about that is first and foremost is like I'm putting a glass screen in there, which also probably means that after today, because there is I still see bits of flour all inside there from the first couple of times I used it, I'm probably going to give this one clean out and then start over after this live stream. But still, Joe, just to demonstrate what we're doing here. So we get that in there, and some of the factors when taken into account for is making sure that there isn't flour like coming through like as ash or other crud that may like taint like the flavors of future bowls, right? We also want to take into account what other contaminants might be mixing with the oils when you're smoking a bowl that could be then caking onto the side, and it just gets locked into a carbon that like every time it gets reheated it releases a little bit of that, which would be in this case butane. One of the things that like when we're smoking a bowl repeatedly and we're getting that black like caking inside the bowl and the color changing, well, every time we hit it with butane, especially if it's like a butane lighter that isn't burning perfectly clean, i.e. a completely blue flame, it's going to is going to be it's still depositing unburnt gases, and those unburnt gases could be getting trapped within the carbons that are forming as the seasoning processes. And I've noticed this before, where like I've taken someone's bowl that they've just been hitting with a crack lighter for weeks and weeks, and then I go and hit that piece. It tastes like butane, and like nobody wants to taste of butane. Like, I mean, maybe if you're smoking a really gassy cultivar and you're on the struggle and you want it to taste even gassier or something, but outside of that, no. So the way we're going to be accomplishing that is glass screen in here, and I'm going to do my absolute best to not to only use fuel sources that burn really clean or neutrally. So I'm pretty much going to be only using matches on this bowl while I'm starting the seasoning process, and then as I move on, I may experiment with like jet lighters that burn clean, just to see what happens, like to see if there is a change. But for now, I want to try and like take this like going like very strictly with it and seeing how it progresses, and I'll keep you guys updated on it for sure. Yeah, very excited, and this helps distract me from the bull crap going on presently with Cannabox, who has like continued to show that like they're good at one thing and terrible at another, and the thing that they're terrible at is unfortunately a little too important, and that's customer service. So we have, it's March now, the box that we got in December, we are still unable to cancel this box. We're still unable to even really access the account in a meaningful way, because they keep running us through these loops and then not responding to us. But it was like, okay, whatever. Like, they're sending us kind of cool stuff. Like, we're going to keep trying to contact them to cancel this, but like, at least the stuff that we're getting is okay, and I'll use it on my channel, like, for the time being. Until this month, when after charging us for a Cannabox, they sent us an email telling us that due to the Trump administration's tariffs and blah, 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 that this month's Cannabox is going to be delayed. And at this point, it's like really delayed. It should have been here like a week like plus ago. And at this rate, it's looking like it may not even get here this month. So they said in the email, get this, they said if you would like to cancel your box for this month, like respond to this email, like hit this link or whatever. We did both. We did the whole full through contact of like, yeah, no, go ahead and cancel this thing. Like, I mean, there ain't no point of paying for a box that we're not gonna get. Like, no, what, you're going to send us 2 boxes in April? Like, no, like, that's okay. Like, we've been trying to cancel this for a little while now. And once again, they gave us the same exact runaround that they did last time, where we sent them an email saying, yes, we want to go ahead and cancel this. Like, since you said you offered in the first email to cancel it, if we email you about it, we did it. You know what they sent? An automatic message back saying, we appreciate your patience in this matter, and we'll make sure that we get that package out to you as soon as possible. It's like, is that what we said in the email? Is that what we said in the email? I'm pretty sure we said cancel that mofo. So guys, like I'll tell you now, cautionary tale, Cannabox, Cannabox, like be very, very mindful of them, and hell, let's bite them in the butt further by using their own labeling, right? That's Cannabox right there. Now, I will say this, Cannabox, like that piece I just showed you, that Eiffel Tower piece is quite possibly one of my favorite pieces. Like, except Cannabox didn't make that. It's a mass-produced piece come from another country, and now that I understand the design, I can get someone else to make a piece like that for me. And at the end of the day, I knew that piece would be a superior design in the first place. I just hadn't pulled the trigger on it yet, right? So, with all that being said, like the customer service is not matching up like to the product, which is something that I'm always telling people. Like you gotta be focused on quality and customer service. Like, yo, like, rock those. You're looking good. Look at Chick-fil-A. Like, look at Trader Joe's. Come on. But yes, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this absolutely beautiful Bosscotti and get this bowl packed up. Oh my gosh, this Bosscotti. I said Biscotti, but it's Bosscotti. It's a 60-40 sativa leaning hybrid. Not that that means too much to those in the know. Although its drug effect, it does express pretty well on the stimulating side. We've got like right off the jump, there's a really nice gas that has an almost garlicky earth supporting it. and then this like hint of like almost like a cherry varnish sort of, and then bread, and then it's like a bread kind of yeasty, like, you know, like you would expect from a biscotti. I cannot remember what the other parent was. I've been told like 2-3 times now, but it's Bosscotti is way too close of a name to biscotti for me to like keep what the other parent is like straight. But yes, I heard I think I smelled it and pulled the butt out and then didn't. But yeah, let's go ahead and get us swapped over to take a look at this lovely flower here. Lovely flower here by Dewey. Yeah, let's holler. Yeah. Alright, just really lovely bounce on it. Yeah, this was harvested just at the beginning of March, like the end of February, and has been like curing for a couple of weeks now. Here, let's go ahead and toss this under the scope, y'all. Yes, let's get rid of that orange shift, shall we? There we go. Yeah, that's lovely. Oh. Ooh, sorry about that. The base is a lot was a lot looser than I thought it was. Yeah, here actually, guys, let's go ahead and let's get real close up on this thing, so we can really appreciate this. Oh yeah, look at those trikes. Now I know some folks like to be really over obsessive about trichome color. But I like to remind folks that when we're growing indoors, it is a lot less important so far as everything else is lining up. And when you go to smoke it, it's hitting those nice drug effects. Because you look through here, and you have there's some nice signs of maturity in the hidden spots. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. Alright, here, let's, beer. Oop, wrong direction, y'all. Alright. Yeah, so let's go ahead and break some of this down. And, get our bowl packed. Yeah. Oh, got a nice grind. Like the savoriness, like this is like nice, like savory, like garlicky, meaty aroma that just started erupting as soon as I started grinding it. Like not before we're even opening the grinder. It's just like ba-boom, like, oh my gosh, like it's savory enough that like it's making me salivate just a little bit, and I'm actually getting hungry, like hungry for like a steak or something. All right. Oh yeah, with that nice like gassy, varnishy undertow. Oh my gosh. Now, I will say I had a friend toking on this yesterday that told me that its potency had them with like a little bit of anxiety, and I so as to say that, oop, look at that stick. That is look at the shape it kept for that stick too. Very nice. Yeah. with the gas that we have on this that I'm smelling, I would not be surprised in the least bit if this was like pushing on the higher end of THC, like close to 30. Now, for packing a wood pipe, okay? Now, what they say to do is to like first, right, get your, in their case tobacco, but in our case the flower, right? And then while it's still kind of loose, let it just kind of sprinkle and like fall into the bowl, you know? Like so that it's like it's kind of loose, and then once it's like about 75% full, go ahead and like gently like kind of tamp it in, okay? Kind of gently tamp it in, but not so much that it's really hard pressed, but just so that like there aren't any really gaps underneath it. It feels like a little firm. Like, yeah, you don't want to press super hard, okay? And then after that, right, then you go ahead and sprinkle more on. All right, and then similarly give it like a little bit of a tamp, but we're not pressing it super hard, because if it's too hard, it will restrict the airflow. Okay. Now we could go ahead and pack this more, but like I said, this is a big bowl, and I'm pretty sure that the first time I toke this, I filled it up more, and I was toking with 2 other people, and we were barely able to finish that bowl. So I think this is a good place for us to stop at this point, and get ourselves situated. Oops. Yes, let's transition back to ourselves. Yeah, let's go. Very nice. Yeah, and what is everyone else token on this evening? What is everyone else token on? All right. Yeah, so due to the nature of this being a being a spoon pipe, obviously it wouldn't make much sense to use the side cam for it, unless I'll be like I'm sure it'd be kind of like funny to watch maybe. But we'll go ahead. Garrus is lit. As always, when lighting a match, you want to let the head burn off first, so that it's only the wood that's burning. That way we don't add any unnecessary sulfurs like into the toke. And cheers. Oh wow. The draw on it is so easy. Oh my gosh. And this Bosscotti. Oh, I feel like tingling my sinuses. And like just wow. Like I can feel like immediately like this pressure forming like around my face. Like, and now for hitting a spoon pipe and like doing this stuff, especially like lighting the whole bowl going through, you can still run a pretty big risk of basically like harshing the bowl by getting the cherry in it like really bright. So like this whole process of seasoning, just like if I was seasoning like, you know, an iron skillet, I wouldn't like necessarily like, you know, while I'm cooking in it, just cook everything on the highest heat and just let it burn and this and that. Like, you know, like you're gonna cook it, you're gonna get it real nice, and the more that you appropriately use your cast iron skillet, it starts to gain like lots and lots of amazing flavors like deep within it. That's what we're hoping to accomplish here. So of course though, it's really important that you don't let the piece go out. And unfortunately, because these holes are so big, right before I hit it, I actually breathed back into the piece, and I think that caused it to like snuff itself, because as soon as I went to pull on it, instantly out. But like I said, trying to avoid using any like fuel sources on this. So while so the seasoning process, I imagine, could potentially cause this to like go through a little more matches, and I mean, heck, we may find out down the line that there is no appreciable difference between a bowl that's been seasoned using no fuel sources outside of like matches and clean burning stuff, and ones that like are using normal bitclives and whatever. But I mean, you don't get good data without effing around to find out. Like, so let's keep going. I gotta say, the buzz on this is crazy. This definitely isn't like a, might sound like Bosscotti, but it's definitely not. I'm definitely feeling that gas like this coming through. It's like it's almost unbridled, like in the sense like I can feel it, like there's this growing like race within me. Like I feel pretty good right now. Like I could definitely like just like set to this to the side and chill. But you know we're gonna smoke through this. You know we're gonna smoke through this. Try not to go off. Yep, it happened. Oh boy, this is going to be a difficult prospect. So there is something else that I actually just remembered that I learned from pipe smoking, and that's also one of the reasons why they like to go for a nice size like bowls and stuff with it. And someone else reminded me the other day is making sure that I get rid of any like ash sitting on the top. And like the way that like I go about doing that, because sometimes like it might want to come out so easily, is that like I'll take something like kind of pokey and then I'll just gently touch around like on the top of it without really poking into it too much, and that in and of itself is enough to disrupt most of the ash that's just sitting there, so that when you actually go for like a tap out and now like I'm touching it, like there's nothing like soft there. So we can go ahead and keep rocking with this, although I gotta say I'm a little chagrined, and I'm also like seeing that this could be like a painstaking process because it already went out, and not before I did all that talking. Like it was before I did it. That's why I started talking some more, because I realized it had gone out. I was like, dang it, let's get rid of this ash. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how we last through this, because like one person toking on a pipe is definitely different from like three people. Easier for them to keep it going. Although we'll say it starts up so easy. Yeah. Rock Farm smoking on some mandarin cookies, eh? Nice, very nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is getting me. Oh my gosh, this is getting me. Whew. Yeah, that's one thing I'll say, that no one should ever argue that like oh, a spoon pipe can't really get me that high. Like it can, if you give it the chance to. And if you got the right the bud that's rolling in it, and this is definitely it. Okay. I let it go out again. But it's like, this thing is like cooking me, bro. Like, uh-oh. I think I might have accidentally dislodged the whole bowl. Oh, no I didn't. Yeah, okay. Alright, yes. Okay, so it does, there's a hint of a just that like, it feels almost like it's almost like burnt cookies. It's right here in the mandarin cookies, not anything like that. Like, just, it's almost like someone burnt a batch of cookies right now. Like sort of, not in like a really, really bad way. It's like that smell where you're like, is there something up with the cookies, before it gets fully on, like, oh, those are burnt. That's bad. Like, you know, it's that early. Like it's like, oh, I burnt them a little. Like, and yeah, I gotta say, like, yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Would you say you say you got a dab of Mr. Mudd's Mellow Kitty Rosin that you pressed out this afternoon? Oh, buddy, I bet it is. I bet it is. Yeah, yeah. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for these competitions to be done with. Like, and I can crack into some of Mr. Mudd's samples that they got for me. I got them on lockdown right now. They Gucci, but man. It's the anticipation is high. I've never been in a situation where I've accidentally waited this long to consume like a sample, check out a sample, but but the actual waiting, yo, especially because like the way Mr. Mudd like reacted, like while I was talking when like he gave me samples to tuck away, I don't know. I just got this feeling like they're gonna be really good. I know, like really, really good. So yeah, you enjoy that Mellow Kitty Rosin. That sounds glorious. Yeah, it sounds very, very glorious. Yes, guys. Oh boy, here let's keep it moving. So I was reading this article the other day. That was talking about like crime in Atlanta. And they were saying that after completing like their like I guess their long-term study of their crime data, crime since they decriminalized cannabis, violent crime. I'm sorry, like they're like petty crime, cannabis related crime, of course that disappeared, but violent crime went down 20%, y'all. 20%. I think another way that I might be able to season this bowl without going through so many lighters, and right now I feel like I'm offsetting all those magnifying glass bowls that I did like this past week. But that's one. But that, speaking of, is one of the ways I think I'm going to be able to like season this a little more economic, like environmentally friendly. Is a No, I think it's beat. Oh yeah, it's beat. Well, I mean, no, there was still a hit in there, but generally it was beat. I forgot that it wasn't going to. There's a certain point, a certain amount of reduction that's not going to happen because it's because of the glass screen that's in there. That's probably how I'm going to have to manage, because I feel like the ways that like spoon pipes get so jacked is that like people don't change their screens out enough or quickly enough, and then the screen gets jazzed up and starts letting like crap through. My friend Andrew, Mood Food, shout out Mood Food, he hooked me up with a couple of glass screens. And I think maybe that's what I'll do is like I'll take this one and toss it in some ISO, and then I'll put the other one in for the next time I do a bowl, and then I'll just swap back and forth and see if that like helps like through the process. Because like after doing this one and seeing that there was like no additional pull through, I might go through with a little narrow tool like and pull out that little bit of like that's in there, or even go in there because it's big enough I could fit a Q-tip in there. I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure. And then get that bits out just do it basically like Frenchie like taught for like clean and chillin', like just apply it to this and see if we can't actually create a truly properly seasoned spoon pipe. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, very dope. So excited. As far as the piece goes, this Andy Dillon piece, like I am in love. Look at that. It's already starting to like. There's like these waves inside the glass that now that it's starting to color change a bit. You can see more clearly in the fuming. Dude, this piece is gonna be so baller. If there was ever a piece that was worth like going through a process of trying to like appropriately season, like this would be it. So I am so excited. Like, thank you, Andy. Transcendent glass, like very dope. Like it's great deals on his glass too, guys. So check out his IG. And like just like see what he's got. 'Cause they're quality pieces. Like it's like this is like it has both a lightweight and a sturdiness to it. Like, you know, like it doesn't feel like super light. But you know how some of those pieces are so heavy, you feel like you can knock somebody out with it or whatever. This doesn't feel like super that heavy. Now it might even be the resin in some of them pieces. If we're being honest here. But like this, yeah, if this piece were like I mean, yeah, it's like it's talent. Like that's just like, I mean, the only way to put it is like it's somebody that's been working on a craft for a long time. Yeah. Did I get my slide? Did I get the slide from Garrett Farms? Yeah. So Rock Farm hooked me up with a hash slide for a rig that he's letting me borrow to do some some hash dab hits. In fact, we were gonna try and do that like here today, but then I remembered I had the hash bowl. I mean, not the hash bowl, the spoon pipe, and then I was just be like, yeah, let's do that. It's like but yeah, it's pretty. It's very similar to the one. Oh, ha! It's blocked by the comments. It's very similar to the one you guys saw in the last live stream. So check that one out. Garrett Farms interview. We were messing around with that. Yeah, like super dope. If you check out my IG, later this week, you'll probably see me do some posts on it, and whatnot, because it's really dope. And yep. And as Rock Farm says, it's another Andy piece, guys. It's super awesome, super awesome. In fact, I would be curious. I would be curious, to see what we could do to recreate something not exactly like this with all the facets and whatnot, because that's just frills. Because this is basically stamped or poured glass, because there's a seam on this somewhere, I think. Oh no, actually no, this one doesn't have a seam in it. But it's a mass produced piece. Yeah, I mean, well, for the time being, it'll do its job, because there's so many other pieces. There's yeah, I'm excited to see where his work goes. But yeah, they say news for upcoming. Guys, make sure to check out the Noke Fest. That's gonna be at Garrett Farms. Coming up in the next few weeks here. June 13th to 15th, gonna be super dope. And also, wait, actually, this is sooner than that. Wait, do I not have the right date? No, I do. I'm just high. Because also, keep an eye out for the Virginia Spring Fest that's happening a couple of weeks after that on April 26th. It's going to be an awesome time. There's gonna be lots of vendors, a little farmers market style. There's gonna be axe throwing. There's gonna be lots of cool stuff. And of course, lots of your favorite people from the cannabis community. So definitely make sure to come through and check that out. Again, guys, sorry that we weren't able to do the interview today for White Lightning, but guys, tune back in tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 p.m. because we're going to be rocking that interview out. He's dealing with a migraine currently, but hopefully he'll have that much more situated by tomorrow. But we'll keep you guys updated. I am super faded. The Bosscotti is awesome. It is definitely got some kick to it. I could see this being one that if you were if you had a lower tolerance and you were like prone to like anxiety from strong like sativas, like stimulating cultivars, this is one that if you did not respect it, it would definitely like cause something like that. Because I am very like this is a nice like thick high, but not like a like oh body like oh I'm in there. I'm just like yeah, but I can feel this energy in me too. That's like you know like allowing me to like keep going on and about. In fact, if I had anything else really to talk about, like I think we would keep it rolling. But oh well, there was the one thing. All right, I mentioned the 20% drop in crime in like Detroit, but there was a what was it? Um, oh yeah, that's right. So there was a recent statement released from some federal agencies. It was from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Customs and Border Protection. They basically like started talking like they're gonna start seizing like cannabis in legal states from companies because of like the fact that it's still federally illegal. And there are like and this whole article is basically talking about how like that if cannabis is rescheduled to Schedule 3, then they won't need to do that, like whatever. So they're basically like they're like almost like threatening that if we like or if the cannabis isn't rescheduled, that they're going to start cracking down like harder on it. Like now granted like the and I think it's like maybe even trying to like kind of like push the tipping point, because right now the proposal for the rescheduling or like descheduling, whatever, it's all like in limbo right now. There's a lot of delays with the DEA, and like a lot of potential policy shifts and changes that have been signaled, like that are shifting away from what the administrative hearings that the Biden administration like had started. So it's like basically until the current administration figures out like who all they're gonna like roll in the place, like basically like nothing's really gonna like change on that. But it also gives a very, very strong indication that like all of these people that they are talking about putting in the place, who are talking very, very, very negatively about cannabis and saying some antiquated like GD 1930s like reefer madness type stupid stuff, could very well try to turn back the clock on cannabis to like the 80s. And for anybody that's familiar the most with like how folks with cannabis were treated in the 80s, like it was a brutal time. Reagan was a dick, like, and that is an understatement of a lifetime. So guys, we got to be vigilant. We got to pay attention to what's going on. We can't get distracted by the stupid crap that they keep trying to put on social media, and have us all like whipping around about, because they're taking our rights away left and right, and they're doing it right under our noses. So this bothers you, like read up on it. Like hit some Googles, like hit some Googles. How old did that sound? No, I swear it's stone, not old. But like seriously, like research what you can about it, and we can kind of move from there. Because hearing stuff like this, like I have like taken my attention like to some degree like a little like away from certain like political aspects of cannabis because so much of it's uncertain is giving me an ulcer just thinking about it. So let's focus on other parts in cannabis. But now that I'm hearing and reading the potential of some really strong actions coming against like legal cannabis industries, which could be just thinly veiled attacks on like political opponents, who knows, right? Now we need to start paying attention because like whether or not we are a part of whatever political group is doing whatever, I sure as shit am not going to be an innocent bystander that's just cannon fodder for their bullcrap. So you guys do with that which will. I am, and I will leave you guys with that. I believe at this point, we are at basically almost an hour, so we pretty much did an episode. I'm satisfied with that. And I also love you guys for chilling with me on this sesh. Like, very awesome. I love this piece. I look forward to seasoning it and hopefully doing it with a lot less matches than I just did. We'll be magnifying glassing that, like, so look forward to that content. I got a bunch of videos I made last week of me using the magnifying glass like to do bowls. So I'm gonna go ahead and like either post them like either one at a time because they're like a couple minutes each, like, or I'll just do a montage of them or something. I don't know. Yeah. I hope you guys have a great night. I love y'all. Yeah, guys, like, keep blowing that smoke and don't let anyone blow smoke up your ass. Alchemist Ganjier. This is another episode of Enki's Canna Cult, y'all. Peace.